And the Chiefs respond with the big hits of their own.
Now,
Good Chiefs support at the stadium today.
let's go! News, views, and behind-the-scenes chats from Sandy Park. This is the Exeter Chiefs podcast.
So I didn't see that coming then, Chubby. First half, I thought it was going to happen.
Yes, I thought we'd done enough in that first half to just get the edge and keep the foot on the accelerator. And in a very un-French way, which probably has a lot to do with the coaching setup being largely Wasps guys, they just came back at us and they were relentless. And the Chiefs' performance dipped a bit and the intensity dipped in that second half.
I think that the big standout thing from Bordeaux was the defence. It was very brick wall-like in that second half, and they just wouldn't let the Chiefs through.
No, and it had to be because we were making break after break. I thought Lockie Turner had an excellent game from fullback.
That run, phenomenal.
Just beautiful.
What a run.
Got a glimpse there of what potential that guy carries.
He's after the shirt. You can tell him. You can tell it's happening. He is trying to make sure he's that first choice 15, isn't he?
Absolutely, and fair enough. I think, obviously everyone is looking to make the place their own. He's got a lot of work to get in front of Dolman, though, when fit, because Dollars is such an all-round performer. But I think what we saw today, if he can string that together through a full 80 minutes, then we've got a real threat. Well,
I want to have a chat about Nigel Owens. I also want to talk about Jack Maunder in a few moments' time. But firstly, let's hear from Jack Nowell.
I felt a lot better out there today. Monday was just about getting the cobwebs out. It was a long time since I played, but the boys around me helped me a lot out there today, so I'm just relieved to be back with them.
I'd imagine when you do a review this week, small margins, you'll look at it as one pass here or the odd turnover there. It's not going to be a lot, is it?
There's not a lot, and there's not a lot. That's exactly what Rob just said to us. There isn't a lot there. We have to change drastically, but the big thing is, like we said, is taking those points when we can.
Good to see him back.
Oh, fantastic.
He was saying maybe a bit rusty after the Braves game last week, starting to blow those cobwebs away now.
Absolutely, and I think this higher intensity game compared to the Braves suited him, and so he looked a lot more calm, a lot more at home in the starting lineup for an international European game.
Let's quickly listen to Rob's views post game.
We're frustrated with that first performance against Clermont. That was a tough one to take, really. I think going over to Ulster and losing in such a tight, hard fought game, that kind of thing happens, and you've got to be able to take that on the chin, and you've got to be able to deal with that by getting some points against Clermont at home or winning tonight. So I think ultimately I'm kind of okay where we're heading performance wise. I think we're on an upward curve still. That bit I'm not too worried about. I'm frustrated by the loss, and I know the players are frustrated tonight because we've worked hard, but it's just something we've got to deal with. We've got to keep getting back in this competition. We've got to keep working hard every time we're there. We've got to keep learning from it, and we've got to keep driving ourselves. And
a few handling errors here and there, a few marginal tweaks here and there. Nothing majorly wrong with the game tonight. It just didn't quite cut it through, did it?
Exactly. It's that final 1%, not even 5. It's just that little the last play, the last pass going to hand. Very, very wet, greasy ball conditions out there, and very difficult. More knock-ons than is normal from a Chiefs side. So nothing to panic about, but disappointing.
Let's talk now about podcast favourite and friend of the show, Jack Maunder.
Absolutely.
I mean, wow! First try in the senior game for the Chiefs. His family here. I saw his dad Andy before the game, and they were fired up. And just so proud of him. He's like a brother these days to us, isn't he?
Yeah, he's closer than family, really.
Let's hear from him now quickly.
Yeah, it's all about momentum. So if we, every game you can build momentum, and if Bordeaux next week will build momentum into Leicester. We've gone really well in the last block in the Premiership. So we should still take confidence from that, and we should take confidence from parts of this game as well.
Outside of the performance, I was listening to Reflink, and another classic Nigel Owens one-liner used on Jack. Do you know what it is?
No.
Jack was being very respectful, as you know he would be. He was calling Nigel sir. He pulls him in and he goes, "You don't need to call me sir." Well, absolutely fantastic.
You see, we've done him a disservice there because he's so used to calling us sir that he's got into the habit. But didn't he look at home out there? I mean, the biggest stage of
what,
club
Nigel
rugby.
or Jack?
Both. Yeah, I thought Nigel had a good game, but Jack was just surpassed my expectations of what a young number 9 could do with his first start in Champions Cup. It was absolutely phenomenal and a very deserved try.
So really, Chubby, that's kind of Europe finish for this year. Would you say it is mathematically possible? Steve-O was just saying, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No, it will take a phenomenal set of results going in our favour.
We got it last year.
Exactly.
And went through with
Yep,
16
absolutely.
points. But
Yeah, absolutely. It could go our way. Clement and Verne could do us another massive favour. But to be honest, I think all of our fans' eyes are on the bigger prize, which is Premiership. And
massive fixtures coming up. Christmas Eve, Leicester Tigers, New Year's Eve, Bath away at the Rec. These are two crunch games.
We must win, and we can win, and I believe we will.
And we've got
win.
something to take to Bath after what happened earlier in the season.
Absolutely.
With, what was it, last 8 minutes over the clock?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
88th minute, Rockadaguni. No, we need to sort that.
No, it's some skeletons to turf out of the closet, get rid of them, and put that monkey off our shoulder. It really is the year that the danger of this European rugby is that the intensity drops and we lose that momentum we've fought so hard to get. I don't think it'll happen. I think we'll go away to Bordeaux next week, have a decent game, and come back ready to take the Tigers on face to face.
Some big names in the stadium today, including Eddie Jones, sat just behind us, up behind the coaches in the chairman's box, and of course Nigel Owen's on the pitch.
And I believe
my friend,
you've snuck in and got his mobile phone number and are giving interviews with him. I think, well
that was
done.
the last podcast that you can subscribe to on iTunes. Chubby, you haven't listened yet, have you?
I haven't, no.
Great range of
jealous.
topics covered, including what would happen if he refed a football match. Also,
it would be worth watching.
His views on the most unruly player, Austin Healey.
Oh,
that was
beyond a doubt.
And also which law he would change. He kept correcting me because I kept asking rules.
Yeah.
And he was saying laws.
Yes.
And he doesn't like the amount of subs that you're allowed.
Really? That's an
He
interesting
thinks
one.
it changes the game too much when it happens in the second half. Also doesn't think it's fair that you get a full cap when you maybe only come on for 5 minutes, which I think is fair. You can listen to that podcast on iTunes. You can subscribe to us as well. Please do that so we'll always drop into your phone when we put a new podcast live.
It's nice to be in someone's phone.
Okay, Chubby, that's a bit weird, but we'll go now. Thank you.
Your behind-the-scenes access to Sandy Park. Thank you. The Exeter Chiefs Podcast.